Every year, over 1 million people turn up to the Notting Hill Carnival. It is the biggest in Europe, one of the biggest in the world.
What a lot of people don't know is that behind Carnival, behind the costume and flamboyance, is a story of protest and struggle.
It's a story that Notting Hill resident and lifelong carnival goer Ishmael Blagrove has just written. His just-released book is a photographic and testimonial history of the carnival and how it started.
It started as a result of a sequence of events. You had the race riots of 1958, you had the murder of an Antiguan carpenter called Kelso Cochrane in 1959, and as a result of that you had different groups coming out in the streets saying, we've got to do something in terms of easing the sort of racial tensions that existed in the area.
That something became the Notting Hill Carnival, which itself saw rioting in the 1970s, as anger at the police treatment of the black community spilled over.
Without doubt, there is a socio-political background to the carnival. It's always been used as a sort of, in a subtle way, of means of protest. When you have people on the streets, working class people on the streets, poor people on the streets who have certain angst with the society in terms of how they're living, they're always going to use that as a vehicle of expression.
Today, Carnival has evolved, but those subtle means of protest are not hard to find, and Ishmael would argue that there is still subtle racism on how the Carnival is viewed by the establishment. This can be seen by the insistence to report the number of arrests made each year, something that is not done to non-Caribbean events like Glastonbury, although comparatively they have double the number of arrests.
You don't need to be a mathematician to sort of work out statistics, yet you can see how one is reported in contrast to the other. They focus on Glastonbury, the art, the music, the camping out, and on the carnival they focus on crime and saying that people are smoking drugs. It's nonsense. And in fact there's a subtle racism in there.
Notting Hill Carnival is definitely a party, but if you look close enough, it subtly tells you a lot about Britain. Nagus Mobalahi, Press TV, London.